All right, ladies and gentlemen, sounds like videos here. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Got some updates for you all. Here, let me just click this off. There we go. Awesome. So, um, district brackets came out for. Get this right here. District brackets came out for district or class 4, district 13. Now, that has both Clinton and El Dorado Springs in it. So let's just go through this really quick. And I'll have to admit my predictions on rankings or seating was off. Number 1, El Dorado Springs. This is girls. We're going to start with the girls. Ladies first. El Dorado Springs, then Notre Dame de Sion. I believe that's how that's pronounced. Number 3 is Clinton. See, I figured that Clinton and El Dorado would be number 1 and number 2, or number 1 or number 2. But for some reason, Notre Dame de Sion. Don't quite get it. So, anyway, move forward. Pleasant Hill at number 5, or number 4. Number 5 is Holden, and Lamar number 6. Okay, so as far as dates go, Clinton will play the 27th at 12 o'clock, Lamar at Clinton. Because remember, the higher seed hosts the game all the way through districts. And then after districts, I don't know. Nobody said anything. So, actually, I think I can go look now that district brackets are up. The state brackets should be updated as well. I'll click over there in just a second. So, assuming that Clinton would win, they will go to Notre Dame de Sion, the first. Now, that creates a scheduling problem for me because the first is on a Monday, and Mondays I am not usually available to live stream. I usually have Josh do it, or Colby, which Colby only handles Lakeland, and Josh kind of jumps back and forth. But here's the issue. Back over here. So, assuming Clinton wins their first match, then they go to Notre Dame de Sion. El Dorado Springs will play the winner between Holden and Pleasant Hill, which that game will be hosted at Pleasant Hill. So, Monday, I've only got one guy available to live stream because I'm not available that Monday. I'm already out of town. So, El Dorado or Clinton? I'll just have to update you because I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know yet. Oh, by the way, I've changed kind of the lighting around. See if people like it. It's much darker back there now. I'm all bright and lightened up, and I don't think I like it. I'm going to change it, but that's not important. Moving forward to the boys. And I know I've had many discussions with several different people about the boys' brackets, and the deal was okay, Lamar will be first because they have more wins than anybody, and the rest of the district are going into districts without a winning season. So at that point, it was just kind of a coin toss, except for Holden, who was really they hadn't had very many wins. Sorry, guys. So, Lamar, number 1. No surprise. Number 2, Barstow. I think I'm saying that right. Barstow. Either way. And then number 3 would be Pleasant Hill. Number 4, Clinton. And number 5, El Dorado Springs. Now, the 2, 3, 4, 5 was kind of like, because they all basically have the same record. So, but they went with Barstow. Somebody post in the comments maybe how to pronounce that correctly. So, the 27th. Lakeland fans will be familiar with that date because that is the district championship. I'll get into that just in a second. Okay, the 27th, El Dorado Springs boys will play at Clinton at 6 o'clock. The girls play Lamar at 12. We will live stream that. And then, yeah, Holden and Pleasant Hill, but nobody's going to live stream that, so we're good. And then whoever wins the Clinton El Dorado Springs game. Now, this is important to both these schools because we live stream for both of them. So whoever wins goes to Lamar, which is on the 22nd. Or on the 2nd. Sorry. Not 22nd, the 2nd. And they will play Lamar at 6 o'clock on the 2nd. Okay. So, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, let me tell you about all the scheduling conflicts we've ran into. Okay, starting with the 27th, I said Lakeland people would be very familiar with this date because this is the district championship for Class 2, District 13. So, assuming that Lakeland makes it to the district championship game, we're all kind of, yeah, that's probably going to happen. They will play at 6 o'clock. The same time that Clinton boys will play El Dorado Springs. So that day we'll have to do 3 different live streams. So I'll probably send Josh to Clinton, and then Colby and I will handle the Lakeland game, assuming that they're there, on the 27th at 6 o'clock. So, what a mess. It gets better. Okay, now assuming that Lakeland wins the district championship, then they will play the sectional. Of course, it's not determined where they play, but that is on the 2nd. That date sounds familiar. It's because that's the same day the boys will play in Lamar. Either Eldo or Clinton, who we cover both. So, yeah. That one's not too big of a deal because I can send Josh to one and then myself to the other. I will cover Lakeland on that, most likely. So, yeah, mission lined this up so that, the lower classes play on the same days as the upper ones. So it's kind of a mess. But, I mean, it is what it is. But I just want you guys to realize that, like, for example, on some of these, it may be a deal, what was it, the 2nd for the girls? Scheduling conflicts, it may be a deal that we may not be able to cover both of those games for the girls, because one will be in El Dorado, the other will be in Notre Dame de Sion, if I'm saying that right. Assuming that the girls win their first game on the 27th against Lamar. Now, Lamar, I did look at this. This is kind of interesting. Lamar, they're kind of down south, and they actually play a lot of really good teams. One of them would be Miller, who I saw play El Dorado Springs, and they played him twice. I was at one game. I think Josh covered the other. And they're really good. But anyway, I mean, they've lost to one, Webb City, who does not have a winning record. Just going through here. Stockton, who is currently at 9-10, but I've seen them play, and they're a better team than 9 and 10. They really are. So they did beat Nevada, who beat Clinton at Nevada. I was at that game. Pulled my hair out. See? And then, so they, yeah, those are pretty much it. But here's the thing, and this makes me worry a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, Lamar has lost to teams that are, I mean, all have really good records, like 11 or more wins. McAllen Catholic School, 15 and 8. Let's see here. Let's see who else here. Castleville only has 10 wins. Lost. Stockton, watch, already going over them. Mount Vernon, 19 and 3. They're a really good team this year. Marshfield, 16 and 4. Who else? Carthage, 12 and 9, and Miller, 23 and 1. So I was down at, was it Stockton, and saw Miller play, and I was like, whoop. But here's the thing, Miller. I think El Dorado Springs girls had kind of an off night that night. They really weren't. They weren't really themselves. I think they had a little bit of an off night, and Miller is really good. But anyway, kind of got into this, but I look at this stuff because it's interesting. So, Lamar has played throughout the season very, very good teams and lost to them, and a lot of those games weren't exactly blowouts. They are scoring 40.1 points per team and giving 48 up. Let's see here. What's Clinton doing? Get back over here. So, sorry for the pauses and everything here, but should have this set up. So they're doing 50.9, almost 51, and giving up 37. So on paper, Clinton wins this, but don't think that that's just an easy win. That's going to be an interesting game because Lamar has played. They have played games with teams that are better than Clinton girls. Throughout their season, they've had a tough schedule. So it may be one of those deals that they're actually a really decent team that have just played above their level all season long. Now going into districts, that's a good thing for them because that means they're used to playing teams that are faster, can score. You know, they're used to that pace. You know, they get up here, they play Clinton. Maybe Clinton's not. They're not a fast-paced necessarily team. You know, they use a lot of strategy. So anyway, just an interesting little fact. So, all right, let's just run through things again. Get back over here. Girls, top seed, El Dorado Springs, Notre Dame de Sion, Clinton, Pleasant Hill, Holden, and then Lamar. And on the boys' side, it is Lamar, Bistro, Clinton, El Dorado Springs. No, sorry, I did that wrong. Barstro's number 2, Pleasant Hill's number 3, Clinton, and then Eldo and Holden. So, Clinton boys will play El Dorado Springs boys on the 27th at 6. And then whoever wins that game will go to Lamar and play on the 2nd at 6 o'clock. Let's jump over here to the girls. El Dorado Springs, top seed. Notre Dame de Sion. Clinton, Pleasant Hill, Holden, and Lamar. So, Clinton will play on the 27th at 12. That's a Saturday. And then they'll play on the, if they win, assuming they win, they'll play Notre Dame de Sion on the March 1st. El Dorado Springs girls will play March 1st at 6 o'clock, and that will be a home game. Try to figure out what we're going to do there on that, because that is a Monday, isn't it? First, yeah, El Dorado Springs on a Monday, with Clinton possibly in Kansas City is where Notre Dame de Sion is. So, all right, that's all the skivvy and information for there for now. Lakeland. Okay, so my poor nephew. This kid can't catch a break. Colby called me up this afternoon. He's like, "Hey, I've got to go in and have something removed from my head." I'm like, wow. Finally, they figured out this thing for teenagers. They just take the rocks out. No. Anyway, he got hit back of the head, and apparently whatever hit him lodged something into his skull. Ugh. So this was a couple months ago, December, something like that. This happened. So, got to get that fixed. So that happens tomorrow. Lakeland plays Liberal tomorrow, and Colby was going to be the one to cover that game because, well, he's covering most of Lakeland anyway. So, assuming that it doesn't get canceled, I don't know as of right now. I'm kind of waiting to hear back from some other things that are on my schedule to see if I can make it. So that is up in the air as of right now. It is my intention to make it, but if this other scheduling conflict I have does not work out, there may be no live stream, which would suck. Be bad. Be very bad. But anyway, Lakeland, that's the update for you. Okay. So at this point, all the brackets are out. Oh, I was going to check on, let me go over there and see, because I could definitely see either Clinton or El Dorado Springs girls advancing past or winning districts, and then advancing on to, was it sectionals? So let's just take a look here. State brackets for girls. Sorry, I didn't mean to bust your chops there, boys, but it's the likelihood just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So, sectionals will be for Clinton. They will play District 14 champions March 3rd. Oh, sorry, March 3rd at 6 o'clock. And I'm not really for sure how they're going to determine where they do sectionals at. I know that I talked to Coach Collins, and he said that there's a chance that they would host sectionals if they get to that point, which would be totally cool. I'd love that. So sectionals, the 3rd at 6. Let me see where we're at on my calendar. 3rd at 6. So at that point, I don't think it would interfere with, it doesn't look like it would interfere with the Lakeland calendar, because it's boys and girls and they kind of flip-flop. So that'd be the 3rd. If Lakeland wins districts, boys win districts, which we're all assuming they will, they'll play on the 2nd at 6 o'clock. to be determined as far as location. So they're red. So it looks like those will flop back and forth. So, all right. I hope that covers everything. If not, I'll post some more information as it comes to light. That's kind of what we know right now. Gave you a little bit of my own analysis about, upcoming games, girls. One thing I will add, that looking forward for Lakeland, assuming they win districts, I would say they'll probably play Crest Ridge in sectionals, because they're the top. They are the top seed. I did kind of go scout Crest Ridge and see how they played and how well they did, and on paper, Lakeland beats them. And then watching them play the few games that I just kind of scrubbed through, I think Lakeland's got a really good chance of advancing past them if that's who they play. If. There's always that if factor. So, anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I'll let you know ASAP as soon as I know what's going on with tomorrow's game, assuming it's happening at this point, assuming it's happening. I did get a message from Coach Collins, and he said, for now, it is on. I just hope we can make it. All right. So, I'm going to get out of here.
The way people shop has changed forever. In today's business, success is measured in clicks, likes, and shares. Video gives you a competitive edge in your social media marketing. Don't get scrolled by. Get clicks, get likes, get shares. Now that sounds like videos.